Hey everybody, how you doing? It's Yvette, the best, the people's tax accountant, coming to you from Best Services Unlimited. We're going to give a chance for a couple of people to come into the group, and then we're going to go live, and I want to give you some information on what you should really be doing right now to protect your tax information for next year. Now, there's been a lot of people giving a lot of speculations, especially about giving out the IP PIN, which a lot of people are not going to be eligible for, putting freezes on their credit report. But I want to give you an order in which you should be going to take care of not only your credit, but to also maintain your identity in a case if you become a victim of ID theft next year during tax season. So let's just wait a couple of minutes. I'm going to invite a couple people in, and then we're going to get started. Okay, everybody, so one, I want you to take the time out to share this information. I know everybody likes the information that I give, but I do not want you to take and keep this information to yourself. I did not have time to study this because I just got off the phone with an IRS representative that I met when I went to Las Vegas at the end of August, that I met at the IRS forum. I wanted to get real information that was concrete, and I wrote down all the information, so please forgive me because I'm going to be looking down a lot because I'm going to actually be reading the information that I wrote down. So what I found out was not everyone will be eligible to get the IRS IP PIN. They just don't have the funding for it. Congress don't have people enough in the IRS for them to be able to get the IP PIN, so it will not be available to everyone. So the first thing you want to do is, one, if you happen to be, I am a tax accountant, I got clients in 30 states, so if you happen to be someone who lives in the state of Florida, or if you live in Georgia, or you live in the District of Columbia, you are eligible to request an IP PIN as long as you filed a tax return last year. So again, clarification, if you live in the states of Florida, Georgia, or the District of Columbia, you are eligible to get an IP PIN. So some people were saying that no one would be eligible to get the PIN until they was having their tax information compromised, but that's not actually true. If you live in the states of Florida, Georgia, or District of Columbia, you can get an IP PIN from the IRS. Also, you may receive notices, so based on this breach, there may be people who will be getting notices in the mail who are eligible. So hopefully, if Equifax works with the IRS and gives them all 143 million names, maybe all 443 million people will get a letter from the IRS inviting them to file for an IP PIN. But I want you to get the IP PIN first. Reason being is, when you apply for the PIN, you have to have your social security number, date of birth, the filing status on your last return, as well as the mailing address. You also got to have an accurate email address. You also got to have some information that's from your credit report, and a mobile phone with your name on the account. Now, that's a lot of stuff to do, so I want you to get all of that in order first. So first, I want you to get the social security, get your social security number, date of birth, and get all your information together. You want to have an email account that's active that you can get a hold of. Then you want to have some type of information from your credit report, and your mobile phone should be in your name. So the reason why you want to do that is because you want to gather all your information before you start acting, because some people are just running out, getting freezes, not doing anything in order. So first, I want you to gather all your information. So some people will say, Yvette, well, I don't know the information that's on my credit report. I got you. So you're going to go to, if you haven't done it this year, you're going to go to www.annualcreditreport.com. You're going to go there and pull your credit reports for free. So that way you will have all the information from your credit reports to be able to go through the verification process. But another thing is, you cannot go and put a freeze on your credit reports before you get the IP PIN. And I'm going to go back to the IP PIN. Thank you, Monique, for asking what's the significance of the IP PIN. I'm going to get to that. So you want to take and go to annualcreditreport.com, pull your credit report so you have all your information together. Then you want to request the PIN after you go through the verification steps, because they're going to ask you stuff on your credit report as well as personal information. Then once you get the PIN, then you're going to put the credit freeze on all three of the reports. Now, some people were saying that as long as you did not have a freeze on your Equifax report, you was able to get the IP PIN. I don't want you to take any chances in having any freezes on any three of the boroughs. In case TransUnion, Experian, or Equifax, I'd rather your report stay with no freezes, so it won't be any chance that they deny you the IP PIN. Now, to answer Monique's question, what is the significance of the IP PIN? The IRS will issue an IP PIN to anyone, usually whose personal information was stolen or compromised, and they may go to e-file and cannot e-file their own return. Basically, somebody pretended that they were you and filed a return in your name. So to stop all of that, you get this IP PIN. But I also want to note that once you receive an IP PIN from the IRS, you cannot now say the next year you don't want the PIN. Once you have the PIN, you keep the PIN for all future years. And what will happen is every December, they're going to send you a new PIN. Now, if you happen to move, you have to fill out a change of address form with the IRS. And I believe that is form 8843. I'm going to get back to you. And if that's not the right number for the form, I'm going to type in the right form. But that's how you change your address with the IRS. So first you would submit the change of address form with the IRS. Make sure that they receive the PIN, the form changing your address before December, so you can make sure you get the new PIN at your new address, so you won't be delayed filing your taxes the next year. So with all of that being said, I want to go through the steps of what you really should be doing right now to protect your tax return and also just credit in general. One, you're going to go to annualcreditreport.com and get a copy of your free credit reports from all three of the boroughs, just because you need to see what's on it, just in case there's some stuff already on there that you're supposed to not have there, and get so you can have all your information. You're going to gather up all your personal information. You're going to make sure that your mobile phone is in your name, so that way you have all your information to go to the IRS to take and get your IP PIN. Now, this is for people who live in the state of Florida, Georgia, and District Columbia. You can immediately go and take all your information and go get your ID PIN. Go on irs.gov, Google, go into search box, type in IP PIN. They're going to have a website for it. I also have a name of the website where I wrote it down. It's IRS. Oh my goodness, can't even read my own handwriting sometimes because I was writing down everything so fast. But I will type that in the chat. But it's actually I believe it's irsgetapin.com, but I'm gonna get sure I get that website and put it into the chat. But you're gonna go, but quick way, just go to irs.gov, go to the search bar, type in IP PIN, and that website should come right up. Click on it and get your PIN. And this is for all the people who live in the state of Florida, Georgia, and the District of Columbia. You can get a PIN now. You don't have to wait until you find out next tax season somebody was you instead of you. Then once you do all of that and you get the PIN and you have it, you know it's coming on its way, take and get all the credit freezes, then place them on your credit reports, and that way, you know, you'll be protected from any future endeavors where somebody might access your credit and try to pretend that they're you. Oh, that was a lot. But I just spent literally like the last hour going back and forth getting this information together. And I know most people are like, Yvette, every time something happens, you're usually first on the call giving out information. Where were you? You wasn't giving us any advice on how to deal with this Equifax data breach. But I don't like to, when it comes to people's personal identity, I don't like to act fast. I like to act correctly. So following these steps will be the correct way you're going to be able to, one, secure your tax return for next year, and then secure your credit. Because at the end of the day, if they already have the information, so if they have it and they're using your credit, they're going to be able to do so. So just waiting a little longer to make sure that you got your IP PIN in hand, that you're going to be able to basically protect your tax return for next year, because that's something that's upcoming. Then you can go and place the credit freezes on the report. And I want to stress to you again, do not take and put a freeze on your credit report before you get the IP PIN, because they're not going to let you. So people who are in Florida, Georgia, and the District of Columbia, act now. Gather up your personal information and get your IP PIN. It is important. Please, please, please take and share this information. There is a lot of people out there. We just had, you know, the hurricanes, a lot of people displaced, but you know they have a phone and you know they come on Facebook. Give them the information. They have a lot on their mind already about trying to deal with getting all the water and getting themselves back together. That this is something that probably most people have right now, is all of their personal information and maybe a bag on their back with the clothes that they just took when they left from Florida. So Florida, Georgia, District of Columbia, go and apply right now, get your ID PIN. And then hopefully, if Equifax works with IRS and they work together and do the right thing, and they said that the other reason is you can also get it if you get a letter requesting for you to get an IP PIN, maybe all the rest of, let's say Florida and Georgia has 43 million people. The other 100 million will get a letter from the IRS, and everyone will have an IP PIN for next year. That's my best dream, that everyone will have a PIN, because at the end of the day, if everyone has a PIN, we can't have no fraud. You think you know that this just doesn't make any sense. I mean, why give the IRS more work? Just give everybody a PIN, then nobody would have their ID taken, and then they could eliminate all the ID theft altogether. But Equifax, ooh, y'all know y'all dropped the ball on this one, and y'all need, ooh, and don't be signing up for that Equifax credit monitoring if they still have that clause in there that you cannot be part of a class action suit. That was another thing. So if you do need some ID theft protection, please go to my website, YvetteDBest.com. I have some ID theft protection on there. If you are not a person that's in business and you need a business, because we all need a business, because you know the job is just a resource, not your sole source, get with me. I can help you and get your life together, because having a job is just not enough. And seeing how we getting all these data breaches, and we may have to be getting money to go fix what they done messed up, we gonna be needing some extra money. So with that, I say, please, one, have a phenomenal week. And before I go, I want to give a special shout out to the insurance agent extraordinaire. Her name is Lakaja Smith. She's the owner of SIG Financial. If you do not know it, look it up. You can also send her a friend request on K Smith. She gives like the best deals when it comes to insurance to people in Florida, Georgia, and most of the Southeast. So if you're looking to do anything extra, basically maybe get some better car insurance, auto insurance, car or the same, home insurance, or personal. She does life. She does all. She has a full service insurance firm. But I like to give a shout out to Lakaja, millennial, out here doing everything on her own, and I just had to give her a shout out because she sent me a wonderful text message this morning, and I thought it was absolutely awesome that she actually was admired by me, but she didn't know that I admire her. So with that, I say, everyone, please share. Please let everybody know, if you live in Florida, Georgia, or District of Columbia, please go and get your IP PIN today and protect your tax return information for 2017. This is Yvette the Best, a People's Tax Accountant from Best Services Unlimited, and please have a phenomenal week. I'll get back at you. Remember, I believe in you.